Hey people, this is an idea that I wanted to show you, and it's related to kind of planning for maybe getting a job, starting a new career. So it could be before you've started that career, or it could be, once you're already at a company. And the idea is just you're making kind of a list of who's who within that industry or company you're working for. And I'm using Noda for this. This is a free VR app. I pay for the subscription, which is a fiver a month, so I get a few more of these cool environments, and this is one of them. But for a fiver a month, it's an absolute steal because, I mean, there's so much you can do with this app. And let me just show you, this isn't really as fleshed out as I'd like it to be at the moment, and there's a lot more I could add to it, and I probably will do an updated video at some point. But let me just take you through the main concept here. So the idea I had was that around this table, this is where all of the different job roles and people that work in this industry reside, which I thought was a good idea. The idea of sitting around the table and having a meeting. And all I've done is that I've used ChatGPT just to make some notes, and I've made screenshots of those notes and imported them for each of the job roles. So to use ChatGPT in Noda, it's really easy. You just go open up your browser and navigate to ChatGPT there. I've actually made a bookmark down here, a favorite, which is really, really handy. So click that, already logged in. Here I am. And then, I've got all your conversations here down the side. And I mean, being able to use ChatGPT in this way, in this app, is just absolutely incredible. And not only can you take screenshots of text, but you can also create images in ChatGPT and then pull the images into Noda as well. And you can have a lot of fun with this and create some incredible mind maps. So say if I wanted to just take a little screenshot of this here, blah, 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 define the area, click, grab the trigger, pull, bang, there's my screenshot. Okay, you can actually ask it questions within ChatGPT. Here you can use it. You just go click on the mic down here, speak, give me some notes for a director, bang, that's it. And that's how you bypass having to use the keyboard here, which is a little bit of a slower option. Having a browser within Noda is just insane. There you go. So let me just show you what I've done. I mean, this is going to be a fairly short video because, like I say, it's not that in depth at the moment, but just wanted to give you an idea of how you could do this. I mean, consider that you're trying to learn about an industry that you're wanting to move into. For me, the example that I've used is the film industry, because I've just finished studying to become a composer for TV and film, and I'm quite interested in understanding the kind of dynamics of how it works and who the different people are, because it's, like a lot of industries, it's quite in depth and there's quite a few different players, and you can think about the relationships that all of these different people have to each other. I could be joining these up, I could be creating a line here and then defining the relationship between, say, a conductor and a musician. I could be putting some text on this line here, which is what I'll do at some point. But here, so we've got the main dude sitting at the head of the table. Well, actually, I suppose the director isn't the main dude, it would be the producer. So we'll start with the producer over here. I've got a couple of little nodes coming off here just to give me an idea of his, main jobs within his role. So budgeting, decision making. And then up here, ChatGPT has just given me a really, really nice rundown of everything to do with a producer, what he does, how he influences the process, what his part is in it. So collaboration. As a composer, you'll work closely with the producer throughout the creative process, etc. So the question I may have asked would be, as a composer, how would I work with a producer? So it's not just who is a producer, it's who is a producer in relation to me. How might he affect my job role? How might I have to communicate with him? decision making. Producers are often the final call on creative decisions, how to meet or contact a producer. So, this is really, really useful. Networking events and conferences, online communities and platforms. So if I'm targeting these guys, I've got a really, really nice starting point here just to let me know some ways in. And I've actually joined 2 screenshots here, which you can do, which can look not the most kind of pretty, but who cares? At the end of the day, this is about functionality, and there's lots of ways to be pretty in this app anyway. So that's a producer, and then audio engineer, again, conductor, same thing, guys, agent. So at some point, if I'm lucky enough to be able to get an agent interested, how an agent works with a composer, how to meet or make contact with an agent, orchestrator, music editor, music supervisors. And that's the concept in a nutshell. And then I've expanded a bit over here. How can I influence them? This could be per role, or it could be an overall idea of, just how I influence people in this industry in general. And I've got some ideas here, some rapport, attire, how do I need to dress? Favor, do some favors. Just have well-polished music aligned with their vision. Trust, huge. Charm, switch it on, baby. Where do I find them? Where do these cats hang out, Soho, a lot of these guys. Online, events. Go and stalk them at some events and make a nuisance of myself. And the idea I had over here, although I haven't started it yet, would be people that I've met so far. So this could be kind of like a place where I have each of these roles up here again, and they're people that I've met. So I might have like a photo of them. I might get like a photo from their LinkedIn or something like that. And, and I'd say, for example, I've just got some images over here I've dragged in for later. So say I met this person, Vanity. Okay, say I've met Vanity, which would be quite a feat now, but say I had. She's an actress. Bang. What do I know about her? Where did I meet her? What kinds of conversations have we had so far? How might I influence her? And I thought that was a cool idea. So as you go, it almost becomes like a library of your contacts. And as I actually get more into this industry and work this out, I'll flesh this out more. I'll create another video. But I thought this was just a really, really powerful concept to get started with, and you guys could take a look and apply it to your own industries. Any industry has different players. Some are huge, some are small. This industry is flipping huge. And, these are the main people that I might have to deal with. But then, you could also kind of branch out and think, who might these people have contacts with that are outside of my industry? What other people might an agent be dealing with? Would they have clients in other industries? How could I meet those types of people? So, always kind of think in terms of like the greater, bigger picture of who else you might be able to kind of tap up in relation to this industry. Could be people that don't even work in the industry, but and then obviously I've just got the title up here of this section, people. And I'd love to get some feedback from you guys and perhaps come up with some ideas about other sections for this room. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it's kind of useful for you. As ever, if you want to take a look in the room, tap me up, send me a message. I'll put some information on my YouTube channel, and we can collaborate. I can show you around. This is the cool thing about Noda. You can hang out in these rooms together. I've not actually done that yet because I'm a bit of a hermit, but I'd love to do that and to actually make this a team effort. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and take it easy.